The city skyline glittered like a bed of diamonds beneath the floor-to-ceiling windows of the executive office. High above the noise and haste of the world below, Eleanor Whitmore, the youngest and most formidable CEO in the company's history, sat at a pristine white table, fingers drumming near a polished chessboard. Known for her icy confidence and razor-sharp business acumen, Eleanor had never lost a game of chess or corporate power. To her, both were battles of strategy, control, and dominance. Across from her stood Daniel Clark, a janitor in his early 30s, dressed in a simple gray shirt and blue overalls, broom in hand. His face was kind but tired, carved by years of early mornings and sleepless nights. His most precious treasure was not in his bank account, but at home, a 6-year-old daughter named Lily, whose laughter was his greatest reward. Their paths should never have crossed beyond a polite nod in the hallway. But tonight was different. "Win this chess game and I'm yours," Eleanor said with a playful smirk, her voice a melody of challenge and charm. She had noticed Daniel's quiet demeanor, his respectful gaze, and the way he never seemed fazed by the cold stares of executives. It was curiosity, perhaps a touch of arrogance, that made her issue the challenge. Daniel looked at her, then at the chessboard, then back at her again. The room was silent except for the hum of city life far below. "With respect, ma'am," he said gently, setting his broom aside, "I didn't come here to win people. Especially not through games." His words were simple, but they struck Eleanor like an unexpected move on the board. "Humor me," she pressed, leaning in, intrigued by his reluctance. "It's just a game." Daniel sighed softly and took a seat. "For some, perhaps. For me, every move means something more." The game began. Eleanor played aggressively, as she always did, quick, calculated, seeking control. But Daniel's moves were different. He played patiently, deliberately, as if each piece had a story, a family to protect. His knight didn't attack recklessly, his pawns moved as a team. It wasn't the style of someone seeking victory for pride. It was the play of someone who understood responsibility. Halfway through, Eleanor paused. "You're not trying to win, are you?" Daniel smiled. "Winning isn't always about defeating someone. Sometimes, it's about playing with honor." The conversation shifted. Eleanor, curious now, asked, "You don't see this as an opportunity?" "I see it as a reflection," Daniel replied. "How we play reflects how we live. In my world, life isn't about conquest. It's about care. My daughter, Lily, taught me that. Every night, we play chess, but she thinks it's about knights protecting queens, not capturing them." Eleanor felt a strange warmth stir within her. No one had spoken to her like this. Not in years. People were always trying to impress, to win favors, to gain power. But Daniel's quiet dignity disarmed her. "Tell me about her," she said softly. Daniel's eyes lit up. "She's the reason I'm here, mopping floors and emptying bins without complaint. She dreams of being a doctor someday, says she wants to help people feel better. I may not have much, but I have stories, lessons, and all the love in the world to give her." For a moment, Eleanor saw not a janitor, but a man rich in ways that mattered far more than money. The game continued, but the air had changed. Eleanor's moves became thoughtful, no longer driven by ego. She found herself slowing down, appreciating the dance of the pieces, the shared silence, the subtle smiles. Finally, after an hour, Daniel gently placed his king on its side. "I concede," he said. "Not because I couldn't fight more, but because sometimes, knowing when to stop is the wiser victory." Eleanor was stunned. "You had the upper hand. Why give up?" He looked at her, his gaze steady and kind. "Because life isn't about proving you can win every battle. It's about choosing which ones matter. I'd rather teach Lily the value of grace than the vanity of pride." The room fell silent again, but this time, it was heavy with reflection. Eleanor leaned back, her confident smirk replaced by something softer. "You've taught me more in this hour than most of my board members have in years." Daniel simply nodded. "Thank you, ma'am. But I must get back to work. Floors to clean, stories to tell Lily." As he stood to leave, Eleanor's voice stopped him. "Mr. Clark," she said, rising from her chair, "I realize now that chess was never about winning you. It was about understanding what I lacked. Your daughter is lucky to have you." He smiled. "I'm the lucky one, ma'am." Eleanor watched as Daniel picked up his broom and exited the grand office, his back straight, his steps unhurried. That night, she sat alone at the chessboard, looking out at the city lights. For the first time in years, she didn't feel above the world. She felt part of it. The next morning, an internal company memo surprised everyone. A new employee initiative had been launched, scholarships for employees' children, starting with Lily Clark. Along with it, a personal note from the CEO herself. "True leadership is not measured by how many victories we claim, but by how many lives we uplift. This initiative is dedicated to the quiet heroes among us, who teach by example and love without conditions." Eleanor never played chess to dominate again. She played to connect, to listen, to understand. And every Sunday, in the park near the company headquarters, passers-by would often see a powerful CEO playing chess on a worn-out wooden table with a janitor and his giggling daughter. There were no stakes. No challenges. Only stories, laughter, and lessons that no boardroom could ever teach. Because in the end, it wasn't a game that changed Eleanor Whitmore. It was the humility of a single father's unexpected answer.